Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about a newer Netflix film, The Prom. Before we begin, let me know in the comments if you are looking forward to this or what your thoughts are if you've seen it already. And make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews. It helps me out immensely if you do that. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right into it. This takes place in Edgewater, Indiana, where the head of a high school PTA cancels the prom when one female student wishes to take another female student to the prom. In a show of support, a group of self-obsessed Broadway actors from New York make their way to Edgewater to get the prom back on, all while hoping to gain some extra publicity for themselves. This is directed by Ryan Murphy and is based on the stage play of the same name, and it has quite a cast which includes Meryl Streep, James Corden, Nicole Kidman, Keegan-Michael Key, Andrew Rannells, and Kerry Washington, among others. I haven't seen the original musical, and to be honest, I'm not the biggest Ryan Murphy fan, but I do like this cast, and in general, I do love musicals, so I was looking forward to this. It looked like a goofy, energetic, colorful film that kinda knew what it was and wanted us to just have fun with it. And that's pretty much what we got here. Now, it is a film that definitely hits some great themes, don't get me wrong there. Like, it showcases the struggles of coming out to family and friends, as well as the struggle of trying to be yourself in an environment that isn't tolerant or accepting. And we explore those themes through the main character, Emma, who is played by newcomer Jo Ellen Pellman. This is the student who's at the center of all this prom talk, and is the one who the Broadway actors are there to support. And Pellman is great here. This is her feature debut, and she has such a naturally likable energy about her. And what ends up being especially frustrating for her is the fact that while there's this whole battle for publicity with these actors showing up and there are all these big fights and everyone's making a scene, she just wants to go to prom with her girlfriend. Even when she initially tries fighting back against the decisions to cancel the prom, along with the school principal played by Keegan-Michael Key, she's not looking for all this attention. And we see how, even though there are people trying to help her, all this publicity kind of gets to her and makes matters worse a bit. Then you also have Ariana DeBose as her girlfriend Alyssa, who's in a tough situation of her own, as her mom, played by Kerry Washington, is the head of the PTA, and she's a bit more popular at school, but she hasn't come out to anyone yet, neither to her mom nor her friends. And not only does she have difficulties doing so, but she feels the same way as Emma. They just want to go to prom together and not worry about anything else. Nor does she care about all the publicity that the situation's been getting. And this is all expressed through the song Dance With You, which I really enjoyed and is one of the sweeter songs in this film. And I especially liked it because it brings the situation a little back to reality and grounds things a bit. Not that I didn't enjoy the rest of the songs or anything like that, it's just the fact that given how everyone else in the film is moving so quickly, and they're all bursting with energy, and everyone's making this big scene, it's just a reminder that at the center of this conversation are characters with feelings of their own that aren't being taken into consideration. Especially since, in a way, they're being treated like pawns in this game for the Broadway actors. When it comes to these characters, they're essentially this one giant parody of the Broadway scene. They're portrayed as very narcissistic and out of touch. It's the point that when we first meet them in New York, they're doing this musical on Eleanor Roosevelt, and one of them makes this offhand comment saying how this musical was needed because apparently no one knew who she was. They're these very surface level individuals with almost these cliched personalities, which is part of the fun, but is unfortunately also a weakness for the film. Now, I will be clear, I enjoyed seeing everyone involved here. Meryl Streep is great as always, plus James Corden, Nicole Kidman, and Andrew Rannells were all a blast as these out-of-touch Broadway actors. And they'll sometimes make these jokes at their own expense, which is the film being a little self-aware, and I appreciate that. However, a lot of these characters end up being nothing more than surface level. Only so many of them have these truly compelling arcs. Our true protagonists really are Emma and Alyssa, and they, first and foremost, were the most fleshed out characters, and I was glad with how they were both written. Everyone else, though, while a lot of fun, isn't totally as interesting. Meryl Streep's arc involves Keegan-Michael Key trying to show her how out of touch she is, especially since he's a big fan of her work, and he's disappointed when he meets who's essentially his idol. I thought that wasn't bad. And James Corden also has an interesting arc as he acts as this mentor to Emma, and he relates a lot of his experiences growing up. I thought that too was done pretty well for the most part. Everyone else, though, doesn't get nearly as much to do when they're not singing and dancing. Nicole Kidman, Andrew Rannells, and Kerry Washington especially. And you'll also have other supporting characters thrown into the mix that kind of go in and out. And they'll just have this one important scene or two, or at times they'll just be there and not really do anything for the entire movie. Like, for example, there's a publicist who joins all the actors and is there when a lot of the big emotional beats take place, but he serves close to no purpose in the entire movie. And that's the case with a few other supporting characters, such as classmates or family members of the main characters. And even with the characters who have the more compelling arcs, there are times where the movie will oversimplify the lessons that are meant to be learned, or it'll try hitting some of these important points so quickly that it'll feel rushed at times. The third act especially feels like things are tied together way too quickly quickly, and even though this is already a 2-hour, 10-minute movie, it could have maybe used some more time to flesh parts of that third act out. But I still had a good time with the film. All the actors were still fun for the most part and worked well with what they were given, and I haven't really talked about the songs too much, but I enjoy them all. Now, I don't think a lot of them are going to be the staples in the musical genre, but a lot of them are fun, and I think you'll find yourself moving to the beat to a lot of them, because I certainly did. I mentioned Dance With You as one of the sweeter songs, but outside of that, and maybe one or two other songs, a lot of the musical numbers are really fast-paced and energetic. One of my favorites is Zaz with Nicole Kidman and Joellen Pellman sing halfway through. And there are also some great self-referential songs in there, like Meryl Streep sings a song early on called It's Not About Me, which she performs along with most of the cast, but the whole joke behind it is she's singing about how selfless she claims to be, even though her initial intentions are for publicity. But she's so out of touch that she even kind of tricks herself into believing that she's not as selfish as she clearly is. And a lot of these musical numbers are accompanied by some stunning visuals and are well choreographed. A lot of these set pieces are bursting with color, and they'll have this big, larger-than-life feel, and they help give this film such a good energy and add to a lot of the fun. This is far from a perfect film, but it's also a fun time. It feels a little surface level at times, it oversimplifies some lessons, and doesn't really dive too deep into certain character arcs, but it still has plenty of great themes regarding acceptance and trying to be yourself, and I think it hits those marks well. Plus it has a lot of really enjoyable musical numbers, some beautiful visuals, and has a fun, energetic feel, all elevated by solid performances all around, and I think you'll have a good enough time with it, so if you can, give it a shot. The Prom gets a 7.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see The Prom, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the song? Did you enjoy the cast? And what's one of your favorite musicals? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.